Hello, hello. I'm Old Bitty Gaming and thank you for stopping by. I know it's been a very long time since I've been able to put anything out, but things have changed dramatically, so I am ready to go. Today I am going to start a new season of Wurm Unlimited, and I'm going to play it a little bit different. So let's get in and I will show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to start with my GM character because there's a few things she's going to have to do. So let's get Corey loaded here in just a minute, but let me show you my settings. Okay, I'm going to play my main town as Shangri-La. I know, cool name, I like it. It's going to be my login, and I'm going to be playing on Westlake instead of Central Lakes, so that's going to be a little bit different. My stats are a little bit different. I have my mind, body, and things like that set up a little bit higher for the simple reason that it takes forever and a day to get up high enough to be able to drive a wagon with animals pulling it. And also you have to have a high level to be able to load and unload crates and things onto the wagon. So I thought I would start there. I will not be playing with my GM character except right here at the start because, well, I found out something that I love, and I will get into that. But she's not going to be around very long unless I absolutely have to have her to plant trees or do something like that. My overall skill stats will be 1. So that means everybody starts with a skill of 1. Yeah. My action speed multiplier is 0.1 instead of 1. So that's going to be very slow. I'm going to have 25% aggressive creatures. The only thing I've seen on there so far were a couple of wildcats, and yeah, they were taken care of. But there's got to be more out there because I've got the way the game works. You have so many spawn in the world, and as an animal dies, another one will spawn. It probably won't be the same kind of creature, so there's a chance that we will end up with a whole bunch more bad animals instead of the good ones. But anyway, my minimum mining is 21. That's usually what I do. 51 is just a little bit too much for me. That really takes forever, especially at low level. And that's about all I changed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start it. Like I say, I am playing on Westlake. One big tip, if you're playing unlimited creative like I play, there is the adventure mode, but I've tried it. I don't care for it. I like creative because I start with a blank slate and I can do what I want. Or you can play on somebody else's server, and I've tried that, and I just really couldn't get into it. But I am starting on Westlake, which is a good starting area on the map. But what you do is, instead of using creative, you can click on creative and it'll come up down here. You want to make a copy of your creative. That way you always have a fresh copy of it. If you don't like the way the game is going, you can always delete that copy of, like Westlake. I could delete that and I could go back to creative and set it up again. Uh, but that's what I found. Always make a copy of your creative, or if you're playing on adventure, make a copy of adventure. So you'll always have those in case something goes wrong. Okay, let's get going. I have a little bit nasty cough left over, so excuse me if it kind of breaks out once in a while. Okay, I'm going to minimize that and that. I'm going to go to LAN server because I am playing a single player game. I'm going to click on my Shangri-La server. And I have got it set up. I have a kind of starter town. I don't have any buildings, but I've got a little starting area, you could say. Get her loaded. I went ahead and leveled some ground just so I'd have a place for people to build their houses in. I put in my roads going to each gate. I put in a food storage bin because I had some cat meat I didn't want to go bad that my guards have killed. So I went and did that. I've been working on gardens and stuff. I put in a BSB to hold some things. I put in a barrel for tar because I did put up lights. I put in a little thing here to hold seeds and things, but there's a bunch of stuff I'm going to be deleting that we will not be using. I put in a mailbox because I am going to be playing with multiple alts. I finally figured out how to make an alt a citizen, and I am looking forward to that and how to get them in the game. I put in a good field. I have this food thing temporarily. You can click on it and say taste the Julia board and it'll fill up your things. But I was just using that for my GM character Quarry, just so I wouldn't have to mess with it. That will be gone. I did put in water fountain because I didn't want to trek all the way down to the pond or the ocean or whatever to get water, so I just put that in. My fields, this is about the third planting because I've just kind of been planting as I go, so I have lots of fruits and vegetables saved up, so they will have something to eat. They'll be able to cook their own food from the start, so that helps. I did collect a lot of horses, sheep, and cows because once you put up your settlement token to claim your deed, the animals start moving away. And sometimes they end up where you can't get to them. So I put in some little pastures and kept my animals in. I've got horses. I think I've got one, maybe two pregnant that I bred to see if I can do it. I've got some sheep. So they'll be able to shear wool or whatever, or lunch if they're real hungry. And then I've got some cattle. That's so cute. I found him wandering around, but I've got some bulls. I've got some cows. We can milk, which will be fun. I have no buildings built at all, and of course it's getting dark. I am planning on having 3 alts on this. Let me show you the map. I'll show you where I'm at. This is where I usually play up here in Central Lake. But I decided I wanted to do something different. And I always enjoy Westlake. Where is it? Northern Shores, the South Beach, Westlake, the Meadow. There's Westlake. It's right here. It's across from Central Lakes. It's just kind of there. And though Central Lakes and Westlake I enjoy playing more than any of the other areas on the map. They seem to have just a little bit more room. Let's go down here. Like I say, I put in a bunch of lamps. As long as they're on deed, I've got my spirit guards or spirit templars, and they will keep my lamps lit, but you have to fill them first with either tar or oil, and you have to light them. Once that's been done, then they will keep them lit. Off deed, that's another story. They're there, and they won't keep themselves lit. They'll either stay lit all the time, or they won't light at all. But yeah, I got that done. It's just mainly quality of life stuff. Just get the game going just a little bit, because if you've ever watched any Wurm videos or anything, you know how grindy it is. And we're going to have plenty of grind, believe me. I went ahead and got the mine in. I found all this chipping away, and I did chip one wall at a time. I did not use my GM powers to knock them down. So this was I've been working on getting this set up for over a month. But I've got one iron vein. That's all I have found so far out of all this. That's a big area. I have put in a forge. I put in a water barrel, because you need water down here to temper things. As you improve your tools and things, you need water to temper with. I went ahead and put in a anvil, so that helps. But everybody will be making their own tools, and they will have to improve them and everything. So there will not be any spawned in items like that. About the only spawned in item I plan on having will be a fishing net, and that's simply so they can keep themselves fed. I put in a couple crates to put rock shards in. Put in my BSB. Got a little bit of wood over here to stock the fire. But yeah, that's mine. And our deed goes south to the ocean, north over the mine, and it goes from this road, what's that? Okay. From west to east, it's just on the it ends just on the other side of the road on each side. So there is room for me to have a couple extra alts so they can have their own deeds. I thought it'd be a little bit fun playing this way. But as you can see, I don't know why these aren't lit yet. I guess it's not quite dark enough for them to come on. I know it's getting dark, really dark. And I will do my darndest not to play in the dark, but I want to get through this so we can get to some gameplay next time. But this goes all the way down, around, down by the beach, and then back to this. This is a main road. At one point, it will be two tiles wide, double road, big enough for wagons and whatever. I may even get a wagoneer in here, who knows. That's one reason I have the mailboxes, so the alts can send different things to each other. Thought it'd be kind of cool. I did plant a bunch of trees to get them started. The only trees on this part is over here, and there's a bunch back over here. Like I said, this goes all the way down and then back up and ties in. I will have a boat dock and stuff along here with boat-related items, buildings and things like that, where it'll be kind of a pier type area. Excuse me, pier type area. Sorry, this is as fast as I can go. That road goes up to that gate. I have one entrance on each side of the area, the town up there. I guess you could say it's a town. It's not a town, but you could say it's a town. And down here, I've got another road that goes around. Why, that's lit up all the way down and back up. That way, get around that way. This one goes back up, connects with a gate over here, and goes down and meets the other road there by the mine. We are off deed. We have been off deed for a long time. But this is a road that loops around and ties back in further back. This is a pretty area. I really like it. There's a lot of trees down here. And it looks like it would be a great place to build back in there. But no, there's too many high mountainy area and a lot of cliffs and drop-offs. And it's good for chopping trees, but that's about it. And then I just started the road down here by the stone. Most people, when you spawn into Westlake, you'll spawn right here at the stone, the snowfall stone. But that's how I've got it laid out. But now what I want to do is I'm going to have to log out, log in my first alt, and then log her back out. So it will take a few minutes. But you'll see when I'm done what's so neat about it. I mean, I knew there was a way to do it. I've heard, I've seen people talk about it, but I could never figure out how to do it. I figured you'd have to have a couple monitors and a couple computers and just kind of work them both like that. And I didn't want any part of that. But I started looking in the forums, and finally on the Steam forum for Wurm Unlimited, I found out how to do this. And I am beside myself. It's so cool. Well, let's get back up here to our token, and we'll get that done. And say I'm not going to really do any kind of the gameplay starting today. This is basically to let you know what it's going to be about. I'm really pleased the way this came out. But that saves you having to watch many months of just leveling out ground, which is no fun. So I decided to go ahead and get that done. And it's just not really going to be anything but just a safe area. I did put in my spirit guards just in case we had some bad animals or whatever show up. Most of this stuff will be gone. It's just stuff that Corey, my TM character, has been doing. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm going to quit. Yes, I'm going to have to completely log out, so I'll go over to here. That's why you minimize this, so you can shut it down. It's going to shut down in about 10 seconds, and that'll mean the game is closed. And we're going to restart, and I'm going to start with my first character, or first alt, or whatever you want to call her. I have to do this for each one because they have to be on the map one time before I can do anything with them. So I want Hannah. She's going to be the first alt in this game. So let's get her loaded. And unfortunately, we will have to go click by click through the tutorial, but we're not going to do the tutorial. I have videos out doing all that stuff. So if you want to know how it's done, you can always watch that. It's old, but it's same thing. It isn't going to change. Wurm Unlimited, long time ago, the old owners, in their infinite wisdom, decided that they weren't going to do any updates on Unlimited, so we're stuck with what we have. But we only have to pay for it one time, and we can play as long as we want to. No monthly subscription. Alright, I'm going to be female. I'm going to breeze through this real quick. I like her complexion, skin color's fine, eye color, hair. I'm going to change that just a little bit. Okay. I like the ponytail. Let's change the color. I want red for her. I'm going to click OK. I'm happy with that. Alright, now let's rush through this tutorial. I'm just going to skip everything. It's going to take a minute, but that's fine. And you saw, since this is a starter town, we started here instead of at the stone, which is great. I'm going to bring up all your little helpful windows. It's got a good tutorial, really. It really does. Get all my screens up. Skip. Yes. There's my character window. Yes. Next. 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 Skip. I've done this so much I could just about do it with my eyes closed. I've been playing a lot of Wurm in between doctor's appointments and hospitals and surgeries and yeah. And I have downloaded a lot of new games, so I will be kind of highlighting several of those that are a lot of fun to play. So this won't be the only thing I play, but this is my favorite. And I have a lot of games, but this is still my favorite. This is one I always come back to. Skip. We're getting close to the end. One thing I like about this is wherever you put your first person, or wherever you put your little windows and the sizes, that's the way it comes up for everybody. Or should. Every now and then there's a glitch. Okay, that's the last of the tutorial. And you can go through the tutorials again if you want to. You can go through, there's little things that you can do to get bonuses and things, just little odds and ends that you can do, but that's fine. Alright, since she is now logged in, I'm going to go ahead and have her start a bank account, just to have it. Click on bank. Do I want to open up a bank account? Yes. Okay. Now, you don't have to do that, but it's just one of the things I do. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out again and bring Corey back in. Yes. It's time consuming, but it works. Let's shut the server down again. One more time, at least we don't have to go through the tutorials again with these two. Come on. Well, that's shutting down. I'm going to grab a swig of coffee. I knew it was going to do that. Let's get back in there. I'm going back to Quarry. Get her back in. I'm going to start my server again. I always play offline. Okay. I'm connected to Steam, so let's go over to LAN. Connect it. Just take a second to get her back in there. Okay, what I am going to do, down here in my chat box, I'm going to click in there, get the flashing cursor, and I am going to put /recruit and Hannah, Hannah. That's the name of the alt I want to bring in. And it says she added player Hannah to the list. That means When Hannah logs in, she should be a citizen of Shangri-La. So let's check it out. One more time, I'm going to shut it down. It takes a lot of shutting down and restarting, but to me, it's worth it. It really is. That way, I can just go in and switch between the players or the alts I want to use and log them in, and they're there. But it takes a little bit because each alt you bring in, you're going to have to go through that tutorial and click through it like I had to do. But once it's done, and to start with, I'm going to make them all citizens, but the other two are going to have their own deed later. Once their skill is up high enough, I'm going to set them up with their own deed, and then they will no longer be a citizen of Shangri-La. So now I want to go back to Hannah, and I want to log her in. She's not a GM, she's just a plain old player. Let's start it again. Okay. Minimize. Be sure and just minimize them. Don't X them out, because they'll end up having to go through a lot to get the game shut down. Back to Shangri-La. Connect. And then Hannah has to do just one thing when she comes on. Wonder how come it didn't come up. Usually a thing comes up and let's see, let's go to settlement. Well, it just says it was when it was founded. She should. I'm sorry, I hit my mic. Sorry about that. Should say that she's a member. Oh, I know what I didn't do. Sorry. I haven't done this very much. I want to join. I click back down in here again, /join, and I want to join Quarry. Well, I wrote it wrong. Let's try it again. Join. Shangri-La. Well, what am I doing wrong? I have done this a couple times and it worked. /join. Join player quarry. There we go. It's join player. Type in player and then the name of your the person who has the deed. And then you get this message. It says teleport to settlement Portados. Okay, I guess I did leave this as Portados. Okay. But I have an option to teleport directly to the village totem, which we're already at. You can only do this once per character. Do I want to teleport? No, I'm already here. So click no, click OK. I am now a citizen of the settlement, and you see how it this expanded. What I have done, I have gone into manage roles, and I have edited the citizen role and the non-citizen role, and I have checked everything I could check so my alts can do everything, whether they're a citizen or not a citizen. So that does help. That's what I was doing before till I figured out I could make the alts a citizen, because I couldn't figure out how to do it. But let's look up here. Let's go one more time. Manage citizens. And now, instead of just Corey being up here, I've got Hannah too. Which is neat. And it shows that Corey's offline, Hannah's online, I mean, I could put a lot of alts on here, but I don't want that many. I think I only want a couple. Well, 3. 1 for here and 2 other deeds. But that's about it for today. Let me go by that one more time. I know you're confused. You want to come down to your chat box here. Click on the line. Go /space /recruit space, and then either the player's name or the alt's name, whoever you're trying to bring in. And then whenever they come in, they have to go through the tutorial and be on the map at least one time before they're recognized. So you have to do that before you do the recruit, or it'll say player not found. So you have to bring whoever it is that come in first, go through the tutorial, log them out, then do the recruit, the /recruit, and then the person's name or the alt's name. Hit enter, and then it'll say they're added to the list. You could bring in all your alts, get them through the tutorials and everything, and then you could just bring them in one to just have your GM or whoever add each one to the list, and then they'd automatically be citizens when they come in. But what this new player has to do, or the new alt, you have to go / join, and then you can put in / join together, space, and then quarry. So that will get them joined as a citizen. Then that box comes up, you know you've done it right. But we'll be doing this 2 more times, so hopefully next time I do it all the way through without messing up. But as you can see, her inventory, she's got all the basics. Her skills are all 1s except for fighting. The only things that are up is her characteristics. I've got all of them: body, soul, Body, Mind, and Soul set to 25. I will set up a way for them to pick their god, because I would like to try a little bit of the religion. I haven't ever done that before, and I want to do some meditating. There's a lot of things in the game that I just haven't really even bothered with. I've been more interested in building and terraforming and all that stuff. Even, even after all these years, there's still a lot of things I haven't done. So I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, that's going to do it for me today. Tomorrow I will have the regular gameplay starting. So if you did enjoy the video, please come back and watch the gameplay. If you did enjoy it, please hit that thumbs up button. Give me a like. You might subscribe if you want to see more. I mean, it's up to you. I know I'm an old woman and I blather on, but this is one game I do love, and it takes a special person to really, really get into it. But once you do, there's no looking back. But anyway, I want you to have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever it is in your time zone. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.